Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining me here today, this morning. I've got something really specific to share with you, and today we're going to talk about intermittent fasting and why intermittent fasting, in my opinion, is something everybody should be doing. So I'm going to share my thoughts on that in a few minutes, but just want to welcome you to my channel. My name's Angela, and thank you for coming and spending a little time out with me today. Here on this channel, we're all about lifestyle. We look at healthy lifestyle, that includes healthy eating, and I say healthy, and that's open to interpretation. So, but we look at, food to help us on our journey, food that we love, foods that are going to support us on the weight loss journey. We look at recipes and cooking. We do shopping hauls for food. We do clothing hauls and household hauls. We do all sorts of things. Yesterday I was out showing you my garden. We do all sorts of things that support living our best life, having fun, making really good choices, and along the way losing a little bit of weight. So good morning, Vic. Saw you there, my lovely. Thank you for joining me here on this live stream this morning. So guys, that's what we do on this channel, and today I'm going to talk specifically about intermittent fasting and why I believe everybody, with a few exceptions, why everybody should be focusing on intermittent fasting as part of a lifestyle that supports health and weight loss. Now, I'm going to put a disclaimer out there. I'm not a medical practitioner whatsoever. So if you want medical advice about intermittent fasting or eating patterns, weight loss, anything medical, please refer to your medical specialist. So I'm not coming from a medical perspective. I'm going to share my experience of building intermittent fasting into my lifestyle and sharing research that I've done. Now, from the research I've done, there is a few groups of people that shouldn't do intermittent fasting as a concept, although I do believe that everybody does intermittent fasting in some shape or other. But the people that should be very careful and mindful are people with eating disorders, women who are pregnant or nursing, people with who are vulnerable due to health conditions. So if you are thinking about intermittent fasting, definitely do talk to a medical and qualified practitioner. But outside of that, I do believe that intermittent fasting is so important. And in fact, it was my medical practitioner. I suffer with a condition called lupus, SLE, and it was on a visit to see my lupus practitioner that she recommended that I consider and do intermittent fasting. One, to improve my health, but also for weight loss. I had a lot of weight to lose, and it was something that she recommended. And at the time, there was so much going on for me with my health, it wasn't really an option. However, when my health started to settle and I started to improve, I started looking into it, and realised actually there is something to this. And my son had done and was doing intermittent fasting, so was able to support me on that journey. But intermittent fasting, there are so many myths and conceptions about it. People think that, you know, you're going to be starving your body, you're going to be starving, it's not good for you, it's not healthy. Well, what I've discovered is that it's not healthy to be grazing and eating all day. It's not good. Not only does that contribute to weight gain, it's also time consuming and it's expensive. But when I sort of done my research and started to look at what our ancestors did in the past, they didn't have the access to the abundance of food. And I'm a big believer we have an overabundance of food here in the West, and that is why in the West we have a massive problem with obesity. So our ancestors didn't have access to that, but our bodies were designed to be grazing all day. Our bodies are designed so we get up, we rise, we move, we eat, and then as the sun sets, we go to sleep. So we're not designed to be eating all day, because we naturally have periods where we're not eating, where we're resting. And then in our lives, even in our busy lives, you know, we may be on the move, you know, we may be taking children to school, we may be going to work, we may be out shopping, we may be cleaning, we may be busy doing things. We naturally have periods where we're not eating. But our modern society means that you can do that. You can literally be walking down the road and eating a snack. You can literally be sat in the car and eating a sandwich. You know, you can be, and I've done this many times, be cleaning and tidying up the house and eating as well. You know, our modern lives has broadened out so that we are constantly eating and constantly grazing in those periods where we are not meant to be, and our bodies have become so used to that. So I embarked on a journey of losing weight, improving my health, and within that started looking at intermittent fasting, and I'm now quite a way down on my intermittent fasting journey, and I can honestly say it is one of the best things that I've ever done for my overall health and my weight loss. To date, I've lost 124 pounds, and a lot of that has been by introducing intermittent fasting, getting rid of the mentality that I can eat, you know, 4 times a day, 6 times a day. That, so Vicky, you're saying you had the mindset, oh, I missed that, I missed your comment, my darling, I missed you, got the wrong glasses on. I'm in the car. So yeah, so I missed that. But yeah, I'm shifting from that mindset of, I used to be in that mindset that I used to eat 3 times a day, 4 times a day, 5, even up to 6 times a day. That, you know, I can eat little and often was what I was told. Eat little and often. So I was constantly grazing. And there is so much to be said. And I'm going to do more more videos about this, because there's so much to be said about the effects that I noticed on my body when I was constantly eating throughout the day. I'd get up in the morning, I'd be eating. I'd eat at 11 o'clock and then have my lunch and then have a mid-afternoon snack, then have my dinner and then a snack in the evening, constantly. And what I realised was that every time I ate, I would have a slump. My body, my energy would slump. And I realised after doing research that my body slumps because my insulin levels have been raised, and my body now has to work hard to burn that energy, to digest that food, to get rid of that energy and to distribute it. And every time I was doing that, it would make me tired. And then a couple of hours after my body had digested that food, or even before I'd fully digested that food, I was eating again. So I was down on the slump again, but now my body had to digest the food it hadn't finished digesting, and more that I dumped in my body. So it was down again, and it's working harder and harder to get back up, to get my energy levels up. And then by lunchtime, that was it. I'd had my lunch, and that was it, crashed, and I would be flat out. And I remember going through periods where I literally had to go to bed. I literally had to go and have a sleep. Or if I was at work, I was like fit for nothing. I couldn't concentrate, I couldn't focus, I felt tired, I was stifling the yawns, I had to go out and get some air. And I didn't understand why. And it was because I was just constantly dumping food into my body, because I was following this mentality that I needed to eat 4, 5, 6 meals a day, little and often, and that was counterproductive physically and cognitively. So when I started practicing intermittent fasting, and there's a whole set of techniques, that I can't go in today because of time, but I will cover them on another video. A whole set of techniques whereby I could now sorry, I've got a hair. Yeah, there's a whole set of techniques to get started on intermittent fasting. But once I started practicing that, I realized a couple of things. One, I wasn't hungry, and I can go till 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock without feeling hungry, and I literally had to force myself to eat because I knew that I needed food to fuel my body. Okay, realized I wasn't hungry. And secondly, cognitively improved. I was much more alert, much more awake. I could focus, I could concentrate better. And the third thing, I had more energy, a lot more energy. So these were things that I noticed, and of course my health started to improve. Massive, absolutely massive. So there are a lot of benefits to intermittent fasting, and I started, instead of thinking about I need to lose weight, I started focusing I need to improve my health. And when I started focusing on improving my health, because I'm type 2 diabetic, suffer with lupus, arthritis, lots of different things, fibromyalgia, lots of different things. When I started to focus on improving my health and started looking at my food, my pattern of eating, and when I was eating, and started to change that really slowly, really steadily, I noticed lots of things started happening. Cognitive processes improved, had more energy, felt more alive. My health started to improve, and I started to lose weight. So I am such a big advocate of intermittent fasting, and because intermittent fasting is a time of eating, it's about the time that you eat and eating within a time frame. People call it time restricted eating, but I don't like to call it that. And it's for me, it's because it's not about restriction. It's not being restrictive. It's finding a pattern of eating that works for you. When I started doing that, a couple of things started happening. One, started to find I'm not hungry. Not hungry. And I started to think about why. Why am I not hungry when I'm practicing intermittent fasting? And I realised after having done some research is because my body has got a lot of energy, a lot of food stored. Our bodies has got a lot of food stored in the form of fat. And when we give our bodies a break from eating, our bodies need energy. So what it does, it turns to the fat stores and it starts burning the fat that we put in last week, last month, last year, the past 10 years that we're desperately trying to get off. Our bodies turns to that and starts burning that energy. But when we are constantly grazing, our bodies never have that opportunity to burn the fat stores that we've already got, that we're carrying around, because our bodies is now burning the energy of the food we've just eaten. And when I realised that, I thought, do you know what? That makes so much sense to me. Makes so much sense. And it doesn't matter what, if you follow, some people choose to follow a plan, some people choose to do Weight Watchers or Slimming World, some people choose to count calories or macros or do keto or paleo. It doesn't matter if you choose to follow a plan. That's absolutely fine. Intermittent fasting will work with it, because intermittent fasting isn't about what you eat or how much you eat or combinations of food. It's not about that. It's about the eating patterns when you eat. And there is so much science, so much research done about this. I really do encourage you to research it if you're interested. Dr. Jason Fung and Dr. Minzy Pats are pioneers in this field. And I say that, but it's not new. I should say modern day, because, you know, intermittent fasting or fasting is not new. It's not new at all. And, you know, it has so much benefits. It really, really does. So I'm going to come back over the next couple of days, and I'm going to talk a bit more about this, because I had one of my lovely viewers messaged me the other day and said that they have, you know, been following intermittent fasting. They follow a 16-8 pattern, and they've done it for a couple of weeks, and they've lost 3 pounds this week. They've lost weight this week, and I'm so delighted for them. I'm really, really pleased, because I know that it's worked incredibly well for me, and I'm really, really confident that when you learn a bit more about it, and when you build it into your day, intermittent fasting, time restricted eating windows, eating patterns, whatever you want to call it, I know it will have benefits for you. It will have benefits. So yeah, I really believe everybody should be practicing intermittent fasting. Everybody should be fasting. And there are so many different patterns, so many different methods, so many different ways. to fast. But yeah, it's helped me to lose 124 pounds, 8 stone 12 pounds. So guys, what do you think? Do you build intermittent fasting into your day? Is that something you practice? Is it something you want to know more about? Is it something you've tried? Have you researched it? Do let me know. Yeah, pop a comment below and let me know what you think. Is it something you want to get started on? So guys, thank you so much for being here. I would really love it if you could leave a comment, even if you just say, hi Angela, you've enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment and give this video a thumbs up, because it helps the algorithm. It really does. It helps the algorithm to put it out there to people who might find it of value. And I do also ask another favor of you guys. We are on the road to hitting another milestone on this channel, and for that I need your help. I would really appreciate it if you could watch another video or 3 and let it run right to the end. Choose a video or a live stream and just pop it on. Listen to it whilst you're cleaning, you're cooking, whilst you're driving, or just pop it on and let it run right to the end, whilst you're sleeping, whilst you're, out shopping. It just really makes a massive difference to me hitting that watch time hours. And I haven't got much to go. I've got I think it's about just under 200 watch hours to go to hit that next target. But if you could just choose another video or live stream, a long one, preferably a long one, and just let it run to the end, it would make a massive difference. Okay guys, that's it from me. I need to get into the office, back to work after the bank holiday. So I will speak to you very soon. Have a lovely day, whatever you're doing, and remember, you're amazing. I'll see you soon. Bye.